Hey everybody, it's Stitch1993 again. Welcome to another one of the countdown videos to the release of the Switch 2. I've been doing these for well over a week, almost I think a week and a half now. And as the time of this video is being posted, we are now only a couple days away from what the release date is which as the recording of this video is June 5th. And today is a special one where I go over my top 10 favorite Switch games. Now, just to put in perspective, I own, as the recording of this video, 150 Switch games. So, this was no easy task for me because I've played most of them. And I've enjoyed almost all of them. The ones I didn't enjoy, you can watch in my regretful purchases video I did a couple days past. So, yeah, I'm just going to go over my top 10. And I'm also going to go over a couple of honorable mentions and just kind of give my thoughts on each of them. Now, this is just my, as I say with any list that I make, this is just my own personal thoughts. This is not an end-all be-all list. I'm not saying these are the best. These are just my favorite ones. And so let's talk about some honorable mentions first. First one up, Metroid Prime Remastered. Now, I've talked about this one in the past here, where it's like when it first got announced, I was like, I already have it on the GameCube. It looks the same as the GameCube. It probably plays the same as the GameCube. I don't need it again. And then a video came out comparing the GameCube version to this version, and I was blown away because this is how I remember the GameCube version looking at. And it was night and day as graphics-wise, and of course they did some other quality of life updates here, so I was like, dang it, Nintendo, gotta get it again. And I fell in love with the game just like I did first time. And just to put it in perspective, Metroid Prime was the first game I ever got for the GameCube. So I was not an early adopter of the GameCube. The GameCube came out during a time I really wasn't playing game consoles. I was more into computer games because I was 8. So we were in a family that was big into gaming. So I wasn't even aware of the GameCube until into my late middle school, early high school age. But as soon as I started researching the console and the games, I was like, okay, I've got to try out this console. And at this time, GameStop was selling the console used for about $30. And like most of the games, outside of a couple of them, were about 10 to 20 bucks. So I had a PS2 at the time. I traded in my PS2 plus the couple of games that I had for that and got a GameCube and got Metroid Prime and Super Mario Sunshine. And Metroid Prime was the first game I put in, and I played it up until it told me that I forgot to buy a memory card. So I played through that first level where you're on the old abandoned ship plenty of times before I was able to get a memory card there. And then once I did get a memory card, oh man, I fell in love with the world, with the scanning ability and learning all about the different creatures. Because this was like before I got Pokemon Snap, so this was like my first like real dive into just like exploring the world around, just like instead of just playing the game and looking at the game as a game, I looked at the game as its own world, as the creatures as its own environment. I don't know if that makes sense or not. So it's one of my favorite GameCube games. So yeah, I was like, how could you beat the original? Well, with updated graphics and good quality of life updates, that's how you beat it. So yeah, it's in my honorable mentions because the Switch got a lot of good games for it, I swear. All right, moving on, we've got Ooblets. And Ooblets is kind of a farming simulator slash Pokemon game slash card game, if that makes sense. So you farm the creatures and then you go around battling other players with the little creatures, but you don't like do attacks. You battle them via dance moves, and you select this specific dance moves through different cards, and some depend on the creatures, depends on the different types of, like each dance move kind of has like different uh point systems to it and stuff. So, and it's just kind of a cozy game. I love the vibe. I love the colors. The story is funny, and all that. And then we got Chronos Before the Ashes. I've talked about this game a bunch in the past, where this has just got this really cool look to it. It's like the closest I can say it's like Jim Henson's Labyrinth meets like Demon Souls sort of style there. Just a really cool medieval look to it. And the interesting mechanic is every time you die, which will be fairly often, at least the first time you play it. The more times you play it, you'll get further in the game, and you know, not die as much. But the first time you're playing it, you'll die a lot. And every time you die, you come back a year older. So you start out at like 18, and like you can go all the way up to I think age 90. And like when you're younger, you can do more of the physical attacks and stuff. But as you get older, more magical attacks unlock for you and stuff. So it's kind of a balancing out there. And then last for my honorable mentions is Carry On. I've talked this game to bits, and I love talking about this game because it's just such a cool concept. Very few games have done this where not the Metroidvania portion. There's hundreds of Metroidvanias, but what this one is different is instead of playing as the hero, as the good guy, as even like the anti-hero, you are straight up the monster in this game. You are the bad guy. You are basically the creature from John Carpenter's The Thing, and you go around attacking other scientists and causing carnage. You can even later on, you get this ability to where you can, like the Thing from the movie, you can turn into people so that you can sneak around and not have people shoot you. It's just a really cool, unfun game. Now for my top 10. As I said, these are just my personal preferences here. So, for number 10, we've got Endless Ocean Luminous. I love underwater exploring games. I just love the sea. I especially love the abyss, and just the creatures that are there. This game is gorgeous. I know people had an issue with the procedurally generated maps, but I honestly didn't mind it. The music is so soothing. It's just a nice, relaxing game. Number 9 is Bugsnax. Yeah, this is just like such a unique, interesting game. Like, it's got just a whole hodgepodge of different ideas. You've got a little bit of Pokemon Snap. You've got a little bit of like cozy farming game in it. You've got a couple other type of genres mixed in. It's a first-person view sort of game there, but it's also a puzzle platformer game. And it's just the coolest thing is all the little creatures that are all based off of food products, and they've all got cute little punny names because of that. Number 8 is Unbox Newbie's Adventure. I've done a whole underrated games video on this, but I will give just like a brief description that it is a 3D platformer collectathon where you are a cardboard box and you go around these open world areas, collecting coins, doing little side, little mini games and stuff. And I know it sounds and looks like it is a shovelware game. I promise you it is not. It has got some of the sharpest platforming you can get in a game. And it is just one of those little, it's like 10-15 bucks, but it honestly will surprise you how fun this game is. Number 7, Super Mario Odyssey. It's my favorite Mario 3D game. It is, it's got the cool hat gimmick where you can transform into any of the, not even just any of the enemies, but really kind of anything in the world at all you can transform into. It's got a bunch of different little hidden stuff, little Easter eggs, collectibles. I love the option of like finally gave you something to do with the coins other than just collecting 100 to get an extra life. You get them and you can like unlock different costumes, and one of the costumes is the N64 model of Mario. It's just great. Number 6 is Immortals Fenyx Rising. I honestly prefer this game over the Breath of the Wild game and Tears of the Kingdom. I know this is was trying to duplicate the Breath of the Wild formula. I just think the world is a lot more interesting to explore. There's a lot more variety of enemies. The weapons don't break. And this story is just kind of a much, it is still somewhat like an epic story, but like on a comedic level there. And I just really like the colors and the whole area, the world there. Plus I just like, Greek mythology. All right, so we're getting into our top 5. Bug Fables, the Everlasting Sapling. It is my number 3 favorite Paper Mario style game, right underneath Super Paper Mario and Paper Mario 64. It's got that soul. You can definitely feel the inspiration from those games in this. It's just got, tons of stuff to do and tons of places to explore, creatures to talk to. They even included a little card game that's very addictive in it, and it's just great overall. Number 4 is Pokemon Legends Arceus. This is the closest that we've gotten to, for me, the perfect Pokemon game. This is my second favorite Pokemon game overall. Number 1 being Pokemon Silver. This is you've got these giant open worlds. You've got the catching mechanic to where you can just sneak up on them. And then the catching mechanic also helps with your XP. And you've got a whole bunch of different missions with catching them. Of course, you can still battle them. Once you get certain Pokemon, you can basically travel anywhere, climb up the mountains, fly over areas. This game gives you an incentive to complete your Pokédex, other than just to say you've completed your Pokédex. It is just so fun, and the art style is beautiful. I know people kind of criticize it because it looks a little cheap for, Game Freak style. Honestly, I don't mind it at all. And speaking of Pokemon, number 3 is new Pokemon Snap. I never thought I'd see a sequel to this game. I'm so happy we got a sequel. I'm so happy Bandai Namco worked on it, because it is the prettiest Pokemon game we've ever gotten. It is just a beautiful game, and it is lovely to look at, to explore, to take photos, and just, see Pokemon in their natural habitat, and I love it. Number 2 is Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. I never played the DS version, so I was aware of it, but I just never played it. It never, intrigued me back when it released. This came out at the perfect time, honestly. It was June 2020, and it was really cheap. I think this was $30-$40. It wasn't a $50 or $60 game. Like, Nintendo knew this was going to be a budget game, but man, did I get my bang out of my buck for this game, because this is the game I've put the most hours in. I think I've put in at least 400 hours into this game, because it's a quick, it's got 51 classic board games, card games, arcade games, and then some in it. And it's like, if you want to have some friends over and play some games, but you don't want to pull out the actual board games, but you also don't want to play like Mario Party, this is just a nice, calm, chill board game collection. Also, if you are just like waiting in the doctor's office, or you've got 10 minutes and that's all you've got to play, all of your day is, eat up with everything else in life, but you have 10 minutes to play a game. This, you can really play like one or two of these games really quickly, and it'll be great. And the number one game for me is Pikmin 4. I love the Pikmin series. Pikmin it has a special place in my heart from the very get-go. I love the creatures. I love the design. I love the gameplay. I love the story. I'm not a fan of the caves of Pikmin 2, but I digress. I've enjoyed every single game that they've released. Yes, I even enjoyed Hey Pikmin. And then when Pikmin 4 came out, it became my second favorite Pikmin game of all time, because it is just everything, all the other Pikmin games wrapped into one, and then some, because you've got the extra stuff that comes in after the first game, after you finish the main story to this. It's just such a delight. I was so happy when this got released. I think it's now the best-selling Pikmin game of all time, and because of that, I'm pretty sure we don't have to worry about, will Pikmin ever see the light of day again. I think this cemented itself to Nintendo that Pikmin is a viable franchise. Probably still never going to be as big as like Animal Crossing or Legend of Zelda or Mario, but it is definitely going to be up there to where they're not just going to, give us a game every 10 years now. I really do believe that we'll see Pikmin 5 sooner than there was time between Pikmin 3 and Pikmin 4. Hey Pikmin and Pikmin 4. So yeah, that is my top 10. What are your favorites? You can either comment your top 10, or just let me know what your favorite game for the Switch is, just in general, or was it one I talked about? I still got, we've still got a couple days left before the Switch 2 releases. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely come back for the next couple videos. And until then, thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.